Hello my friends, Asoka the Geek here, and for this review, we're going to take a look at the McFarlane Toys Gold Label Year 1 Batman. So this figure is a Walmart exclusive and also a McFarlane online store exclusive. I pre-ordered mine from the McFarlane store along with Jim Gordon. It arrived today. This figure is also showing up at physical Walmart locations as well, so if you weren't able to get the pre-order, you can still get this figure. There is also a platinum edition version of this figure, which has more gray coloring to it. We'll get into that topic in a minute, but yeah, there's a platinum as well. But I am just really excited for this figure. This story, year one, is very dear to my heart. The main reason is this is the first trade paperback I ever bought as a comic book collector. This beautiful leather-bound, the complete Frank Miller Batman. You can see it's all kind of dinged up and scratched up from years of reading it. But yeah, this is my first trade paperback. Year one is included in this trade paperback, so I am a huge fan of this story and it means a lot to me. And it still holds up today as one of the best Batman stories ever. So very excited that they made a figure representing that story. There's the figure itself. There is the box artwork. Love that year one classic artwork on the back. Without further ado, let's get this guy out of the package and take a closer look. Alright, so there is the figure outside of the packaging. It does come with a batarang, as you can see there. And then there's the beautiful trading card artwork. And then there's it on the back. And then there is the figure itself. So, let me address my biggest problem with this figure. And I do have a big problem with this figure. I love the overall sculpt of it. I think it does capture the proportions of year one Batman. As you know, I think it looks pretty close to how he looks in the comics. Not perfect, but I think it works. This is, I think, the Rebirth body somewhat. Like, honestly, the thighs look very familiar. So it is going to be on the smaller side. But I think the thing that really bothers me is just the color of this figure. So I am going to show you. This is from the Absolute Edition, and this is the reprint of the original comic book. And this is how he looks. He's got a very light gray suit. And then the figure, though, does not have a light gray suit. It does not look like this at all. This is a very dark gray suit. Even if I look at the comic that I showed you, that leather-bound comic, even in that reprint, it's not this dark. Now, I have seen on the digital version that it looks this dark, but I mean, if we're looking at the source material, which is what I care about, like here's the reprinted version with updated artwork, even that one is still very, very light gray. So that really bothers me, because when I look at this, I wouldn't honestly immediately think, oh, year one Batman, just because of the color of the gray. I know I'm nitpicking with that a little bit, but I think it's important with this figure because, you know, it's supposed to be a light gray. If you look at Hush Batman here, this gray is much closer to year one Batman than the gray that they use. So that's the disappointment. What's even more disappointing is if you look at the platinum, which I don't have yet, I just actually ordered it on Mercari, that gray is actually much more accurate to the comic than this gray. So the platinum is more accurate than the general release. So overall, for me personally, my own personal opinion, it was very frustrating because I had to go order the platinum because I really like the way the platinum look. It actually looks more representative of the artwork for me than this one does. This one, I remember the animated movie might have been this gray. Like I said, the digital comic might look this gray. But for me, reading the comic, knowing the comic book so well, the way I've read it and envisioned it, it's not this gray. And again, I'm sorry I'm being harping on this so much, but I just feel like it's an important, you know, like aspect to the figure, the color of the suit in this case. The skin tone even, that, you know, David's artwork's very stylized. Like, I think here, it looks pretty close as far as the skin tone looks, but even in the comic, the pages I just showed you, the skin tone isn't like that. But, you know, the comic's obviously stylized, a different type of artwork, so I can forgive that. But, yeah, this suit has got to be lighter. If this was just, you know, a little bit lighter gray, again, like the Hush Batman, then we would have been in business. I would have been very happy with this. Wouldn't need to go get the platinum, but there you go. I'm also seeing a lot of folks do some kit bashing with this and the platinum, because the platinum head is like, you know, the skin tone is very white to represent the artwork from one of the covers. So people are doing head swaps with that one. I'll probably just display the platinum as is whenever I get it. So there you go. There's my soapbox about the color of the suit. Other than that, I really do love this figure. It's a very, you know, year one Batman. No armor, very, you know, that's the way it should look. And I like the emblem. I love the belt, the way the belt turned out. The paint of the belt looks great. I love the head sculpt. I think they captured year one Batman with that head sculpt. The wired cape, I think, looks good. I would have liked maybe a thicker material, but that's okay. I wish he came with 2 open hands, though, because you can't really reproduce this look of him holding the cape since he only has 1 open hand. So that's kind of a bummer there. As far as articulation, you know, he moves around pretty well here. You can make some fun Batman poses with him. Alright, so there he is next to Dick Grayson Batman, Hush Batman. As you can see, he is on the smaller side. Doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to put this figure, you know, in my display. You know, it's a year one Batman, very specific. He's not going to be displayed next to the Justice League or anything like that. So the scale doesn't bother me. Only thing that bothers me is the color of the suit, the grays there. That's my biggest gripe with this figure. If it had if it had an open hand, another open hand, that would have been nice too. So you get to have him trying to recreate that pose that's on the comic, that iconic pose with the cape. But still happy to have this figure. Still glad they made a year one Batman. But let me know what you guys think. Does the gray bother you as much as it bothers me? Yada, yada, yada. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching. I do really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. And that's about it for now. Have a great day.